welcome to Salubre Skin with Dr. Irene. Today I want to share with you the amazing benefits of herbal tea. Now, if you've been in my clinic or you are a customer who buys online, you would have realized that we've recently relaunched our Salubre Teas range. Now, the reason why we did this was actually several reasons. First of all, we had a lot of our customers ask us to do a range with teas in a tea bag, because although it's beautiful to have nice fresh herbs in our teacup when we're at home, when we're out and about, whether we're at work or we're gone away, a lot of people travel on holiday and they take our teas with them. If you're traveling and kind of doing things quite quickly, you don't want to be taking loads of things, strainers and pots and all that sort of stuff. You simply want to just take your tea bags with you and there you go. So we've done our herbal tea range, which is in tea bags, 100% organic. So there are no non-organic. We did have a mixture of wild crafted and organic herbs. These ones are all 100%. Some of the ranges we've had to change the formulation slightly because we couldn't access the herbs that were organic. So if we couldn't, then we omitted that from the formulation. And we also have discontinued a couple of the teas, and we've included a new one. So we have discontinued the clarity, the masculinity, and the femininity. We will be looking at reintroducing loose leaf next year, 2019, because there has been a fair bit of feedback from our customers that they do like the loose leaf, and we do have some in stock still. So if you're interested, just send us an email. Even if it's not on the website, just send us an email or give us a call, and we can let you know what we have in stock, because obviously in clinic we have a few bits and pieces here. So now today I want to go through our new herbal tea range. Now, herbal tea is a wonderful, fantastic way of rejuvenating your body and bringing your body back to a state of wellness. Often we might feel sluggish in our gut. We're tired, we're stressed, we're not sleeping. We have breakouts at various times of our month, whether we're females or males. We can get various acne breakouts during stressful times, or times when we're not feeling great or we're not sleeping. That can invoke a flare up of skin concerns that we might be struggling with. So the 5 tea varieties we have in our range are really centered around the main areas of health that most people are struggling with. So the first one I want to talk to you about is our Digest and Detox tea, which now that looks like it's in reverse. So it's called Digest and Detox tea. Unfortunately, with the camera being the way it is, you're reading it the wrong way around. But this tea is cleansing and nourishing your body. So it helps with the natural elimination of toxins through your kidneys, your bowel, and your lymphatic system. So these 3 areas naturally eliminate toxins when we're day to day, without us even knowing. These organs are naturally eliminating toxins. When we get a little bit run down, sluggish, we're under the weather, we maybe not be eating the right food, not feeling great in our gut, they can get a little bit sluggish as well. So, we have 5 areas of eliminating toxins. We've got our skin, lungs, kidneys, bowel, and lymphatic system. This one specifically has herbs to help with the natural elimination of toxins through our bowel, kidneys, so through our urine, and lymphatic system. Lymphatic system basically gathers all the toxins throughout the body and aggregates them and sends them off through the bowel and kidneys anyway. So it's really trying to get rid of toxins that are in the bloodstream circulating and eliminating naturally through those means. So we're not really wanting to eliminate through the skin. When we eliminate through the skin, we find that that's where acne and other skin problems present. We'd rather be eliminating through urine and through our bowels, through our stools. So the elements that are involved in this tea are encouraging that. On the flip side, it's also promoting digestion. So if I go through the ingredients that we've got, there's hawthorn berries, dandelion leaves. Now, hawthorn berries promote digestion, and dandelion leaves help with liver detoxification and also clearing inflammation from the body. So sometimes if we've felt sluggish or we haven't been eating well for a while, some foods, especially unhealthy foods like sugar and, fast food, greasy, fatty food, even dairy products, those sort of foods can actually create inflammation in the body. So the dandelion is in there to clear that inflammation out. Well, there's also fennel, and fennel is fantastic for digestion. If we're feeling like we're not processing food, indigestion, even sometimes heartburn, fennel's a great herb to get the digestion working more efficiently. We also have sweet orange peel. Now, in Chinese medicine, we use sweet orange peel a lot in helping with bloating, fluid retention, specifically around the abdomen. So what it does, it moves qi, moves energy throughout the abdomen in order to help the digestion work more efficiently. So, when we're stressed, our stress will impact our digestion pretty much instantly, because the liver and the digestion work very close hand in hand. So when the liver's not happy and it's been affected by stress, it's going to upset the digestion. And one typical way that we experience digestive issues is really feeling bloated after foods, even feeling bloated after stress. We could have a very stressful day at work and we're feeling bloated, and you might think, gosh, I haven't even had that much to eat today because I've been so busy and stressed. And yet look at me, I look like, I'm pregnant, male or female. You have that abdominal distension. So sweet orange peel is fantastic for that. Then we've got peppermint. Pepperment's very important for the promoting digestion. So this tea is best consumed after meals or even during meals. You can definitely have herbal tea during meals. I know that with water, it's best not to consume during meals because you dilute the digestive enzymes, but teas are considered a beverage. All beverages during food are fine. Water on its own will dilute digestive enzymes. But when you are drinking a tea with food, it's perfectly fine. So you wouldn't necessarily have this tea on an empty stomach because there are herbs in there that promote digestion. So if you've had no food to eat, then it might create a little bit of discomfort. If you're feeling like, you've had a real heavy meal the day before, and then you wake up in the morning and you feel still quite greasy, you might have had something late to eat, pizza, and it just doesn't feel like it's shifted, then you can definitely have this tea. But if you've been eating really healthy and clean, then I wouldn't see any reason why you'd have this for breakfast without any other food. You could certainly have it with food. So you can have it with an omelette or cereal or whatever you want to have for breakfast, toast, whatever, eggs, whatever it is. But I wouldn't have it on its own without anything. There's cleavers in there. Cleavers will help with eliminating toxins as well and help with digestion, promoting digestion, also anti-inflammatory. Lemongrass and licorice root. In Chinese medicine, licorice root is a herb we often use to harmonize. So, we might have a formulation, we might throw in a little bit of licorice because it harmonizes the formulation. So there's not a lot of licorice in here, but there is some licorice. And we've also got stevia leaves. Now, the reason why we've got stevia leaves is because stevia helps with the metabolism of glucose. And I know some people don't necessarily like the taste of stevia, but it's 1%, so it's quite small amount. And the stevia leaves actually have a benefit to your digestive system. Apart from adding a bit of sweetness to the tea, it does actually promote the metabolism of glucose, which is really important. So that has a nice benefit to it. So that's the digest and detox tea. Now, next we have, again, you're going to be reading it in backwards, but if you're watching this, if you're hearing it, then that's better. But longevity. Now, longevity, we've changed the formulation around to the previous longevity. We do have similar herbs in there. So we've got the goji berries, the white tea, ginkgo and ginseng, and Herbal. Now, goji berries in Chinese medicine, we use that a lot for the replenishment of yin. When we get older, as we get older, our yin gets depleted. It's the natural physiological process to life. You know, that's essentially what allows aging to happen. So if someone has been sick with illness, long-term illness, and this might be someone who's young, they might be in their 20s or 30s, and they might have had an illness from a very young age, their yin gets depleted. So you might find, you know, two 30-year-olds who, you know, both the exact same age, one has been struggling with ill health for, you know, 10, 15 years, and the other one has no health issues. The one with health issues more than likely will look older. And that's just because illness consumes our yin. And that's something I used to do a lot when I was a student. Even taking my herbs for my skin, I always took herbs for my yin, because I needed to keep my body strong in order to fight the illness that I had, the psoriasis that I had, and, you know, to keep my body rejuvenating during a process of ill health, because ill health creates stress on the body. So keeping your yin strong in that time will allow the body to heal a lot quicker, essentially, is what we want to do. So goji berries nourish yin and essence. Now, white tea, we've got white tea. So white tea is the premature green tea. So it has all the benefits of green tea, but it hasn't matured to green tea. So it's white tea. Now, it does contain caffeine. So longevity does contain natural caffeine, but it's not the same effect to your body as coffee. But if you'd rather be caffeine free, then definitely longevity is not the tea for you. And we do have other teas in the range, but this one has got caffeine in it. Now, it also has been said that green tea consumed daily can reduce your chances of developing cancer by 50%. And white tea is in that same realm. So it's something that's important to consume on a daily basis, whether it's longevity or you have green tea, doesn't matter, but consuming a form of tea, green tea or herbal tea, is beneficial. Now, ginkgo and ginseng, they're actually both adaptogens. Now, adaptogens are basically herbs that improve adrenal function. So when we're stressed, our body releases cortisol and from the adrenals. And when this happens for a long period of time, our adrenals get really depleted. And so essentially by rejuvenating the adrenals, we're almost rejuvenating our energy, we're improving our mental clarity and improving our stamina as well. So ginkgo and ginseng are great for just overall general well-being. And this is an anti-aging kind of formulation. So that's why those two herbs are in it. There's also a herb we use, it's called Herbal, and the Latin name is faulty root. Chinese name is Herbal. So what this herb does is actually nourishes blood. It's a wonderful herb to nourish blood. I've been taking that in my herbs for a very long time. And it really is beneficial to improving the amount of blood you have. So more blood, more energy, more iron stores in your blood. So especially with women, you know, we menstruate on a monthly basis, we'll lose a lot of blood, having children, breastfeeding, giving birth, obviously, all those elements reduce our blood, make us depleted. And essentially, not that this is formulated for people with menopausal syndrome, but what menopausal syndrome usually presents from a yin deficient state. Not every situation, and I don't want to be broad by saying every scenario is that, but the typical hot flushes and night sweats is from a yin deficient state of health. So in those people, we are rejuvenating yin, but in actual fact, we're using different herbs to this, but the premise of nourishing yin to improve general well-being is the same. Then we've got bilberry berries, just to add a bit of flavor in there, rose hips and red rose petals. The red rose petals really are just to improve the color of the tea and, you know, add a bit of beauty to the tea. So it doesn't really have any therapeutic effect. Our rose buds in our tranquility does, but our rose petals don't. Okay, so that's the longevity. Again, so apologies for the reversal of that. Okay, now luminosity. This is our new one. This is one we did because I can't tell you the amount of times I had people ask me, have you got a tea for skin? And I was reluctant at first because, you know, typically the herbs for skin are quite bitter and not very pleasant tasting. And, you know, at the end of the day, you do want to provide a nice taste beverage. You know, you don't want to give when I'm giving herbs out to patients, I don't care whether it tastes nice or not, because that's not my primary concern. My primary concern is to address their health complaints and to restore health. So over the last, we launched Salubre Teas 2007. So now 2018, that's 11 years. I can't tell you the amount of times I've had people ask me about tea for skin. But this tea is actually working on a few elements. It's working on the leaky gut component. It's working on reducing inflammation in the skin, and it's also reducing bacteria in the skin and helping with the natural healing process of the skin. So it is specifically for people with acne, eczema, and psoriasis. Now, it's a beverage. At the end of the day, it's a tea that has a formulation that is broad. Obviously, if you were to come and see me personally, you know, I would give you something specific for your presentation. But with this being a generalized formulation, basically we've achieved this by including olive leaves, nettle, cleavers, calendula flowers, dandelion, and ginger root. Now, the reason why we've got ginger, and I said, you know, you've got to reduce inflammation. The two reasons why we've got ginger. First of all, we help with the detoxification in the GI tract, but also the other herbs are very cold. So when we're clearing inflammation, you know, herbs that clear inflammation are cold in nature, and herbs that are warming, obviously, are warm in nature. So ginger is warming the stomach, but it's warm. So I added the ginger in order to counteract the coldness of the formulation, because after a period of time, a lot of cold herbs can upset the digestion as well. So we don't want that to happen. And it's only a very small amount, so it's not going to be overly warm. I always encourage with all our teas, on it we have 5 to 10 minutes brewing time, but you can leave that in 30 minutes. You know, whenever we do expos, we put 2 tea bags in and, you know, in about a litre of water and leave it in for an hour. You know, you can leave it in as long as you can. Around 80 degrees, boiling point is 100 degrees Celsius, but we would encourage more of an 80 degrees Celsius. Now, obviously, you don't know if you just have a kettle. There are some kettles that do have different temperatures, especially if you're a tea connoisseur and you've got those specific tea making kettles that have different temperatures on them. I would go for the 80 degrees Celsius. So that's our luminosity. Working on gut health, clears inflammation, clears bacteria, and also helps with the natural rejuvenation of skin. And with any of these teas, you can enjoy them several cups a day. So if you think about when you're coming to see someone like myself, a Chinese medicine practitioner, and we give you herbal medicine, you know, the herbal medicine is much stronger than the tea. So you can drink several cups a day and there's no problem with that. Now, tranquility. Again, apologies for the reversed. Tranquility is important for sleep. So when we don't sleep, we don't rejuvenate. Our energy rejuvenates, our body rejuvenates, our body's healing most effectively during our sleep. When we sleep, this is when our body does what needs to be done. Now, night shift workers or shift workers, this is one element that they struggle with, is returning back to a normal rhythm of sleep. But our hormones are regulated by our sleep as well. So we need to sleep in order to encourage the body into a holistic wellness state of health. And so when we're not sleeping, we're basically, you know, mentally we're foggy, physically we're exhausted, we might be irritable and snappy, our body starts to, you know, show signs of fatigue, not necessarily just physically, but there could be symptoms like headaches, digestive upsets, sluggish bowel or loose stools, you know, not digesting food effectively, and the list can progressively go on, can lead to autoimmune diseases and all that sort of thing. So it's really important to get a good night's sleep. So with these ones, we've got loads of herbs that are calming the mind to get you down from an active mind into a sleep state. And we also have some herbs to promote digestion. Now, it's important to promote digestion because there's a gut-mind correlation. And you may notice, you know, if you have a heavy meal or you eat something that's not typically what you eat, you'll find you have a poor night's sleep. So there is a strong correlation with the gut and the mind. And anyone who's suffering depression or sleeping issues should really look at what they're eating, because your food can be upsetting your mindset. So obviously avoiding inflammatory foods, greasy, fatty foods, fast food, all that sort of thing is really important for gut health, increasing, you know, healthy foods that will rejuvenate your body and calm the mind and keep you at peace will always get you into a good night's sleep. So we have passion flower, lemongrass, linden flowers, chamomile flowers. They're all for calming the mind. We've also got Schisandra berries. In Chinese medicine, it's called Wu Wei Zi. So Schisandra berries are great for nourishing yin. Okay, so when we're not sleeping, our yin is depleted because that's what's rejuvenating. Our yin energy is depleting. So we need good yin energy in order to be healthy. So Wu Wei Zi is in there to help with the healthy rejuvenation of yin. And then we've got the lemongrass and linden flowers for the digestion. And then the red rose petals. Now, it's important to understand that what you eat is also very important. Meditation is also very important. You know, positive mindset, getting your head into a positive state of mind, unwinding, stopping all the electrical devices at 7 o'clock, stopping water consumption around 7 o'clock, you know, having pleasant conversations, reading a book that makes you feel good, gives you happiness. You know, don't be watching the 10 o'clock news or the 10:30 news and you watch something that's distressing and gets your mind overacting. Don't read emails from work late at night. That all stimulates, invokes an emotional response, which, you know, sometimes it's required. You know, if you get an email that you feel, you know, is incorrect in whatever it's stating, obviously that's going to invoke an emotional response, but it's not going to give you any benefit reading that at 10 o'clock at night. So, you know, switch off from electronic devices, you know, unwind with a book, you know, switch the TV off. Sometimes too much noise in the house, overstimulating, gets your body wounded up and you can't settle into a nice sleep. Drink your tea. Again, with this, though, I would still stop drinking by 7 because you don't want to be up at night during, you know, going to the toilet. So you can drink this during the day. It's not sedating. It's not like a sleeping tablet where it's sedating you. What it is, it's just calming your mind. So when you are ready to get into a sleep state, you are finding it easy to get into that state. So they're not sedatives, so very different to what you may be used to with sleeping tablets. So that's tranquility, relax and unwind with tranquility. Okay, now serenity is our last one. Now, serenity, we've had a complete formulation change. And the reason is because over the years in discussing with patients their concerns with stress. So this is a formulation for people with stress and anxiety. And in understanding where people's stress is coming from, this can be a long-standing stress. And as I said before with the adrenals, long-standing stress will create adrenal fatigue. And so this formulation now is restoring the adrenals to a healthier state. So it has withania, also known as ashwagandha, Siberian ginseng, ginkgo, rhodiola, which is also an anti-aging herb, but it's an adaptogen, licorice root, and red rose petals. So basically, this formulation is really centered around working on the adrenals. And, it may be something, that you may have experienced when you were younger. There might have been a stressful situation, and ever since then, you've never felt right. So what essentially happens when there's a huge amount of stress or a long period of stress, and this can stem from anywhere, it can from a loss of a loved one, school issues, whether it's bullying or studying or, having a sick parent, sick sibling, or even illness for yourself, anything like that will create stress. And essentially what happens initially, you get all the firing of cortisol, and then it starts to kind of deplete, and then your DHEA might start depleting, and then you start feeling fatigued. What happens then, naturally progressing into digestive issues, hormonal imbalances, autoimmune diseases, thyroid problems. And so what we always do, we always fix these stuff. Fix the autoimmune disease, fix the thyroid imbalance, fix the hormonal imbalance, focus on the digestive issues. Let's avoid the food intolerances that we've got. Let's promote digestion. And no one's actually fixing the adrenals. And it's all manifested from the adrenals. So if you can think back and say to yourself, you know what, whether it was 20 years ago, people can be walking around with adrenal fatigue for decades. It doesn't have to be yesterday. It can literally be decades ago, but you haven't felt right since then so that might be something that's beneficial for you to deal. To improve your adrenals means to cope better with stressful situations. Doesn't get rid of the stressful situations around you, but it certainly does help you with dealing with it, coping with it better, minimizing overwhelm, improving mental clarity, reducing forgetfulness, increasing concentration, increasing motivation. All those sort of elements are involved with this area. So if that's something that's concerning you, then the Serenity is the one for you. And again, I would have a good, strong 3 to 4 cups a day. You can play around with it. You can start with 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but I would brew it for a lot longer. Personally, I brew my tea a lot longer. I want to try and extract as much of the active constituents in there as possible. And so it's important to really get the benefit to the tea that you're drinking. And you can switch it up. I'm not sleeping well, so I might have some tranquility. I'm feeling stressed, I might have some Serenity. I've had a bit of a breakout with my skin, I might have some luminosity. Whatever you're feeling at the time. I kind of do that a little bit with my herbs, to be honest. If I feel sluggish or I'm seeing signs that my adrenals aren't good, I'll change my herbs around. Or if I'm not feeling great in a certain area, I change my herbs around to suit where I'm at. So you can kind of use this in your tools of wellness. So going by how you're feeling to what tea you need. We are going to very shortly keep the serenity and the tranquility in loose leaf. At this stage, we've still got some old stock, but not a huge amount. And as I said, if you are wanting anything loose leaf, just send us an email at info@salubre.com.au. Head over to our website. We are going to change our website over early 2019. Just with the new products, we need to shift a few things around and create a new website in order to help our customers facilitate through the website and find things a lot easier at this stage. It's kind of things all over the place. But anyway, any concerns or any questions, send us an email and we'll be more than happy to help, or give me a call, give us a call, and we'd be also more than happy to help. We are sending out to New Zealand. We are looking at doing this Australia-wide at some stage. And I'm hoping with the new website, we'll get all those systems up and running. So any questions, send them through. Any comments, leave them below. And I hope to see you in our next episode of Salubre Skin with Dr. Irene, and have yourself a great day.